The law of polarity. We all know polarity in the form of yin and yang, North Pole and South Pole, or magnets that we played with as kids. Basically understanding things as two opposites to each other that are in some way connected. But what many people don't know is that the human consciousness is polar too. Not the world that we live in, not the universe, but our consciousness. This is the reason why we humans cannot perceive reality differently. Through this polarity of our consciousness, everything we can comprehend is bipolar. It is automatically evaluated in that way, experiencing the world as a world of oppositions, of antagonisms. This is why we are living in the world of plus and minus, man and woman, fair and unfair, light and darkness, good and evil. This list could go on forever. We are always experiencing them as contrasts, and we are trying to differentiate between the two, working on finding our own opinion on a matter, a position that we value and stand for. This includes that we choose one side and simultaneously say no to the other side. Consequently, we can identify with the one side we chose. And the other side is instantly considered to be something that we don't want to be. We don't want to be identified with. It is the problem in the world. It is something that we need to fight in this world. It is something that we need to change in this world. The most fundamental experience of polarity is breathing. We breathe in and out. Every inhalation is followed by an exhalation, and every exhalation forces an inhalation. This builds a rhythm, a change of polarity phases. And both parts are essential for our lives. If we take one away, the other ceases to exist. Without inhalation, there is no exhalation. The full rhythm is lost. Electricity works exactly in the same way, only with antagonisms of oppositions, of plus and minus. Electricity exists. If we take one of them away, the other is gone too. And here we can understand the fundamental principle from the law of polarity. One pole only exists because of the other. He enforces the other. He exists only with the other or not at all. One is the precondition for the other. So we could realize here that the two poles are far closer connected than we often think when we talk about two opposites. We often think that they fight against each other, that they cannot coexist together, they exclude each other, that you are either one or the other. But right here you can identify that these two positions are just two sides of the same coin. Behind every polarity is a unity. But with our consciousness, we cannot perceive them both simultaneously, only after one another. Therefore, we don't experience unity itself. Only with time we can see the two sides separately. Think back at the scientific discussion of the true nature of light. One side said, light is a wave. The other side was convinced that light is a particle. Both had evidence which supported their position, until eventually they realized they don't exclude each other, they complete each other. We always experience the two sides, the two extremes of unity consecutively, never simultaneously. Therefore we think they are two separate individual things, but they are not. They belong together. They have always been together. Only with our limited consciousness we started to separate them. And this separation is the root cause of human conflict. We fail to understand the unity and focus on the polarity, on our differences. If we are unable to see past the two extremes in every aspect of life, we cannot identify the underlying truth. Instinctively, our human judgment, even with the best intentions, prevents this reunification. Once we stop to enforce the one position, the extreme, the other loses its power and ceases to exist. Mankind is destined to fight infinitely until humanity realizes its unity. And this can only happen in the consciousness of each and every one of us.